All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Julia. Today is August 10th, and it's the first day of school. And to celebrate this sort of spiritual new year, we're going to do like a plan my year with me kind of video where we're just going to be talking about my goals related to this school year and community advocacy work that I want to do. And this is sort of supposed to serve as inspiration for you and stuff that you might want to do. And we're doing an interesting format. This is bingo. So the idea of this is maybe you don't want to commit to doing everything on your bingo card, but you want to get, a bingo. So a horizontal line, a diagonal, a vertical line. This is going to be good for my year because I have two little kids and I'm very limited in the stuff that I can do, but if I can get out there and do things, it's great. So come along with me as I go over these goals with you, and hopefully you will feel inspired to come up with your own bingo card. Each square is going to have a different color, and these are what all of the colors mean. Anything light blue is going to be sort of stuff related to the YouTube channel, how I can level up what I'm currently doing with the YouTube channel and projects that I might want to do. The dark blue is going to be learning things, so taking online courses or reading certain books, anything that I'm doing to absorb knowledge so that I can be inspired and learn things and stay sharp. Yellow is going to things, going to events, going to meetings, going to school board meetings, things like that. Touching the appropriate amount of grass. It's good for all of us. Make sure that we're touching grass. All right, so without further ado, we'll just go in one by one. Premiere Udemy course. So Premiere is the software that I use to edit the videos. And Udemy is a website that has courses that you can take online. And this website's normally, you have to pay for it, but there's a lot of free courses through the county library. There's quite a few Udemy courses that I put on here related to YouTube stuff. I know a lot about Premiere, but there's tons of stuff I don't know about. And I'll be doing something in Premiere and I'll be like, there's got to be a more efficient way to do this. I just don't know what it is. So it'll be really, I want to experiment a lot with the editing. It's one of the most enjoyable parts of this process. Okay. So if something shows up twice, and a lot of the events are going to show up twice, I'll just include it all in one thing. Speaking at a school board meeting. I spoke at one last year. It would be very easy for me to draw up speeches and talk about issues at the public schools at every school board meeting. I'm just very limited to what I can do. So I have the goal of going to 2 of these. Oh yes. So this isn't a YouTube project, but I made an infographic and I put it in the YouTube video for one of the school board commentaries about data from the gender identity audit of elementary school collections that I did. I found it to be a really fun way to interact with the data and to give it to you in a more digestible format. I have a whole pile of reference literature here that we'll go through, and I'll link all the books I talk about in this video in the description. I have this book for the inspiration, cool infographics. I checked this out, World War II infographics. This book is super interesting, and it gave me the idea to make more infographics with the audit. Up next, we have optimized newsletters. What does that mean? So I'm subscribed to a lot of newsletters that I get in my email, and I'm also subscribed to lots of things on Substack, and I don't feel like I utilize these in a way that is the most beneficial to me. So I need to go through and be like, am I reading this? And also carve out time for reading as part of my reading schedule so that I'm getting the most from that content. 5Ks. something that I like to do personally with my goals is if I can kind of marry community advocacy goals with personal goals that I have. So, like, exercising is very beneficial to a person. It helps with the mental health. Obviously, it helps with the physical health. And 5Ks are good because there's a lot that are related to scope. There's a lot that are related to education and to parenting. So you sign up to do one of these. You pay a small fee to enter, and that fee normally goes to charity. It's an excuse to exercise. I could easily walk 5 kilometers, but it's better to do it in this for me anyway. It's better to do in this format where people around are watching you, and you're like, "Oh, I better jog a little bit," and it's for a good cause, right? And you meet people out in the community who have opinions, and you talk to them, and it's great. It's an excuse for me to be extroverted. So I think, I'd say 3 of these last year. And the last one I did, I was so pregnant, and I was trying to jog a little bit, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I'm excited to do another one now that I'm postpartum and can, actually do it. Okay. So this is a YouTube video goal. So as I'm trying to level up the YouTube channel, when I was designing goals in regards to that, I was thinking of what is YouTube content that I like to consume, and how can I adapt that kind of thing to be related to scope. So this is a good example of that. I love to watch these, like, talk about my goals with me, plan my year with me, let's do planning together kind of videos. I think they're fun. So I thought we could do that related to the work that we do out in the community. Capture card chatty videos. Capture card is this little device that lets you record video game play. So I have a Switch 2, and I like to watch people play video games while they talk about stuff. So I can play a video game that I have on my Switch 2 and talk to you about a parental rights issue or a public school issue or a librarianship issue, because that would be fun. And it would be, I think I've fallen kind of into this trap of, oh, I need to do book club. Oh, I need to do school board comment. There's another school board meeting. And I want to do other videos that don't have hard deadlines like those videos do, but I haven't committed. YouTube success, another Udemy course about understanding how YouTube works. Increase meme usage. Yes. So I put some memes in one of the school board commentary videos, and I thought they were fun. It's just a way to make things more fun and silly. Because there are lots of fun and silly moments in these school board meetings that we can enjoy together. Optimize digital storage for video making. Yeah, my computer's just a big mess, and if I can edit faster, I can get more done faster. Oh, yes. So I have a lot of the time that I'm reading. So at any given time, I'm reading, like, for fun, personal Julia reading. I have to read books for the audit. If you go look at the audit, you'll see that a lot of the books say quotes pending because they're like long middle grade chapter books that I have to read to get the quotes for. I'm reading things for the book club, and then I'm reading just stuff to keep up with knowledge, like librarian professional development reading, and books about educational issues and things like that, so that I'm, like we've talked about, so that I'm on it. But I feel like I need to, like, more intentionally carve out time so that I'm making sure I'm getting all of that done. And I can just show you a quick preview of some of the stuff that I'm reading at the moment. I just got this, the image of librarians in cinema. I did a video about Donnie Darko, and that was very much just sort of an on-the-fly thing because me and my husband had watched Donnie Darko. It just sort of came up on Amazon. We were like, oh, we should watch it. and that had this very on the nose scene about book bans, and Donnie Darko's mom even uses the word book bans, and I was like, oh my gosh, I should just make a video about this. And then I was looking online and I found this book, and I was like, I want to get that. Still reading this, National School Library Standards. This Libraries, Erotica, and Pornography. This was published in 1991, but it is of course still very relevant to everything going on today. And then I got picked up a couple of these just for dummies. Premiere for Dummies, YouTube channels for dummies. But if I'm gonna get the most out of these books, I need to make sure I'm carving up appropriate time to actually engage with them meaningfully. I want to do more fun sound designs. I'll be watching a YouTube channel, and someone will use a sound effect to punctuate what they're saying in a way that I really enjoy. I'm like, I should do that. That would be fun. Why not? Oh, and music. That's another area that you'll be watching a YouTube video and someone will have music on in the background, and that'll really help generate the emotion that they're going for with what they're saying. And I haven't done any of that yet. So that's a fun area that we can explore this year. SAC meeting. What's the SAC meeting? The SAC is the School Advisory Committee, or the School Advisory Council. I don't think it's a committee. But basically all the schools have their individual SAC committees. And they all have meetings. And you can go to these even if you don't have a child at that school. Just if you're like a community member. I remember, sidebar, I remember I was at a Zoom meeting. I attended a Zoom meeting from National, and somebody in the chat left this comment where they said, can I get involved in issues in public education even though my child is in private school? And of course, whoever was hosting the meeting from National was like, of course you can. And I would take that further and say, you can and should be involved in issues in public education if you're a 60-year-old childless person, because the public schools and how they are run, and if they're run well or poorly, affect everyone, because the young people who come out of those schools grow up and they take over our businesses, and they become our doctors and our nurses and our police officers and our firefighters. And if they are not competent, society suffers. So issues in public education are for everyone, even if you do not have a child in public school. Another Udemy course in graphic design related to scope that we can do. Make things look prettier, level up the thumbnails. And that would obviously be related to the infographic goal that I have. So I'm part of other organizations, clubs, where I meet people and I talk to them about issues. And I haven't been to a club meeting in a while, and I need to do that. So I have the lofty goal of going to 2. Short form content. Yes, short form content is a whole nother ball game. And I made a short. What did I make a short about? I made a short about the food pyramid content in libraries, even though the old food pyramid is 15 years old and we have an obesity crisis. The librarians still have food pyramid content on the elementary school library shelves. Oh, this really grinds my gears. Yes, and I made a whole short about that. And it was very meme heavy, very like dunking on them. And it took me forever to edit, just because the thing about short form content is that like every second has to be catchy, engaging, interesting. But it's very useful, especially if you want to catch a person who, how might I say, who's like a normal working class person who doesn't want to be super politically engaged, but like would be interested to know about certain things that are going on. So that's a great way to catch people while they're doom scrolling. Make them look up for a second and be like, oh, really? That's interesting. So it's just, it's an art form that's very different from long form content that I need more practice in, essentially. Okay, and then I think that's probably our last Udemy course is Canva. I use Canva to make the slides, the visuals for a lot of the videos. And similarly, I feel pretty well versed in it, but at the same time, there are things where I'm like, there's got to be a better way to do this. I just don't know what it is. A one-off video every 2 months. And so this is a one-off video, just not series videos. We already talked about how I want to make more of them, but so one every 2 months through the school year. I think that's achievable. PTA meeting, yes. Similarly, you can go to the PTA meetings if you are not a teacher and you don't have a child in the school. They're open for everyone. You don't have to just like join the PTA. You just go to a PTA meeting, see what's up, connect with people, talk to them about issues that concern you. All of that really makes a difference, and it's good to be interacting with people. It's good to be touching grass. I lied. One more Udemy course that's going to help us experiment with sound. Is talking more about audio engineering. It's a lot of Udemy courses. Am I going to take all these? Probably not. But, maybe I will. Who knows? That's why it's a bingo. We don't have to do every single thing on the bingo list. Oh, yes, book event. When I made this, I didn't have a book event planned, and now we have one planned for the 29th. We have a story time planned. And then I also, not just hosting of book events, but also going to book events. I went to a children's literature conference, children's literature convention, conference kind of thing, where I listened to authors talk about their work, and it was great. I really enjoyed it. It was really interesting. There's some authors that I think I bought a book, and then there was an organization there handing out books for free, and it was really fun. I love stuff like that. Personal video. That's a good way to experiment with my skills in areas that are not related to this. Obviously, you won't see any of the personal videos that I do, but I have some ideas for that. And finally, a candidate event. Yes, these primaries are almost over, y'all. We're in the home stretch. If you haven't early voted yet, go early vote. In November, that's the real election, and there's lots of races, so I will try to get to a candidate event. Okay, is that everything? I also just want to say, today is the first day of school, and I just want to remind you that you can opt out of certain library resources, and if you did that last year, you need to do that again this year. You have to do it every year. So here's your reminder. Go opt your children out of whatever library resources that you don't feel is appropriate for them. I will include in the description the opt-out tutorial we did last year. So if you are meeting parents out there, be like, feel free to tell them. Be like, there's tons of very political content in our schools' libraries, unfortunately, still. And you can exercise your parental rights and prevent your children from checking these political materials out. I hope that you're feeling very inspired. I hope that this was fun for you to watch. Perhaps you should make your own bingo card of goals for your school year. And if you don't want to have a whole bingo card of community advocacy goals, you can do some personal goals. You can do some professional goals in whatever professional realm you work in. It's an interesting format for goals. Okay, well, thank you. Bye.